October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Today, around our school, students, staff, and teachers are dressed in pink in honor of the millions of women who are fighting every day against this horrible disease. These women are our mothers, aunts, grandmothers, sisters, wives, and daughters. Here at Cromwell Middle School, there are 3 of our faculty. Meet Mrs. Giordano, Miss Davis, and Mrs. Delarada.
At age 26, I was diagnosed with stage 2B invasive ductal breast cancer. I did not have the breast cancer gene or a history of breast cancer in my family.
I was 36 when I was diagnosed with a low-stage breast cancer. And after several tests, Dr. Malon at Middlesex Hospital uttered those dreaded words that you have cancer. My mind immediately started swimming with scary thoughts and lots of questions. And I decided as that day went on that I just needed to get this over with and move on with my life.
Last February, I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. My doctor found it during my routine physical.
This is Catherine Meacham. She's a former colleague of mine at ECS. She was another true hero. She helped me find the best doctors because she had just gone through everything herself and was fighting breast cancer. And a few days after I met one of her doctors, he set me up with surgery, and she was able to help me through everything.
It took 2 surgeries to remove the cancer from my breast. Then I had radiation, and now I take a medicine called anastrozole to keep me in remission. I didn't have to do traditional chemotherapy.
As a result of my original diagnosis, I underwent the most aggressive treatment possible for someone my age, based on a recommendation from my doctor at Dana-Farber. I went through 8 grueling rounds of chemotherapy, and I had a double mastectomy with reconstruction. My doctors were more than confident that this treatment combined with hormone therapy following my surgery would kill whatever chance there was for my cancer to return.
After my surgeries, I was in a lot of pain. My doctor said that all the pain was normal, but it was still a lot of pain. My doctors and I then had to decide on the best treatment for me to make sure that my cancer wouldn't come back. I spoke to a lot of people. I spoke to other doctors, nurse practitioners, and I talked to other people who went through breast cancer themselves. But even through all those conversations, I just wasn't sure if I was making the right decision for me. So my doctor suggested that I go to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston, and I did. This doctor helped me to better understand my cancer and how my treatment would help it. I left that appointment feeling 100% confident in my treatment plan. So in July, I started radiation treatments. I went every single day except weekends through August. Some days I just didn't want to go. It was really hard, but I did it. It didn't hurt at all, but it just made me super tired. And I couldn't go to the beach, and I couldn't be out in the sun while I was going through my treatment. But I did it, and I did it every day until the week before school started.
Throughout my journey and while I was going through my surgeries, I got myself involved with the Relay for Life event right in Rocky Hill in Middletown. This is an American Cancer Society event where money is raised to support all cancers and research.
I learned that the people who dedicate their lives to helping sick people are truly angels on earth. From the doctors, physician's assistants, nurses, nurse practitioners, the techs, the radiation therapists, to the guys who parked my car every day and the women who checked me in. They were all a part of my healing process.
I'm always the type of person who's looked kind of forward, like what's next, but this disease has taught me more about living in the moment.
My radiation therapist, Mike, said, I do this every day because although I know I can't help that you're here, I can help make your being here the best it can be. Those words stayed with me. Those words helped to assure me that some people really do understand, because there are people who just don't understand. I learned it hurts when people don't understand. Some people have said, you don't look sick, or you aren't as sick as you could be, or aren't you lucky you only had a little bit of cancer, or even, we didn't think your cancer was all that serious.
People often ask, why do you look so good if you have an incurable cancer? So metastatic breast cancer has its ups and downs. While I may not look sick, my body is fighting each and every day. Some days it's difficult to get up because of my chronic fatigue my drugs cause me.
I know these people meant well, but they just didn't understand, and that hurts. I also learned that there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of people who do understand or really try to understand. Many people who were strangers to me are now my friends. So many people right here in our school stepped up for me, supported me, or shared their journeys with me. And lastly, I learned what it means to be a survivor. When I was feeling hurt because some people just don't understand, I found people who do, and I surrounded myself with them. And that's because no matter what we are facing, when we choose to surround ourselves with people who understand, that's when we're really choosing to be survivors.
And since I carry the BRCA2 gene, which is a gene that causes breast cancer and ovarian cancer, and I have 3 daughters, I do feel strongly that I must continue to support the research and support causes. So that I ask everyone to celebrate survivors, remember those that have lost their fight, and fight back to find a cure.
If you take anything from this, I want you all to think about how many people in your everyday lives may be facing battles that you know nothing about. Teachers, students, friends, family, friends, everyone has their own battles. Be kind to others, ask others how they are, and really listen for the answer. It may mean more than you know. With a less than 10% chance of my cancer returning, a routine MRI in September 2014 confirmed that the same breast cancer I had fought off, gone through chemo for, had returned as 2 nodules in my lungs. My first thought was, why me? Why again? I had run a marathon less than a year after I completed chemo. I ate healthy, and I was taking all the necessary steps within my control to keep this cancer from returning. I asked myself several times, what more could I have done? We often don't find answers to these questions, or at least not the answers that we would like to find. So what we do find is an inner strength and a perspective we never would have had previous to a diagnosis like this. So for that, I am grateful. My condition is considered chronic. I'm part of a clinical trial at Dana-Farber that has kept my cancer stable for the past 3 years. I make monthly trips to Dana-Farber to have blood work taken and to pick up my drug. Important. Once I go off the trial, I'll be able to be treated in Hartford and will have less frequent doctor's appointments and scans. I'm hoping this will allow me to live a much more normal life where I'm a counselor, coach, wife, aunt, and friend first, and a cancer patient second. I wanted to share my story today because I think it's important for you all to put a meaning behind the color pink. Yes, it's a very pretty color, but for a lot of us, it means much more than just a pretty color.